So in this video we're going to cover 5 moves that we can kind of incorporate into another bit of routine, kind of to move on with our training. A few different angles, it's taking some of the things we've done before and kind of trying to advance them on. So if your training is getting a bit more intense, we're doing things that we want to maybe look at getting joints moving and kind of connecting together. Maybe we're doing a bit more walking and running. This is something that can kind of incorporate it in to help with that kind of free flow motion and getting everything kind of to move together as a system, as not so as isolated as before. So the first thing we'll do is a bit of breathing for upper backs. Again, so we're thinking about trying to get as much freedom and get all the tissue at the back to move. One thing I'll say is, really talking about that. Sorry. So in this video we're going to cover 5 moves that we can now start to kind of incorporate into a bit of a daily routine. Should be advancing on our training, maybe doing a bit more walking, a bit more running. This kind of sequence kind of brings things together more as a whole, so it's not as isolated as before. It's kind of getting things to kind of partner together, which can kind of advance on your training, I suppose, once things are starting to move a bit better for you. So the first thing we're going to do is a breathing drill. We're going to come onto all fours. We're going to go palms facing up the way, and what you're thinking about doing is closing your ribcage at the front. So basically doing an ab crunch and trying to make yourself as wide as you can at the back. What we're trying to incorporate here is to get movement at the ribcage. The front side should close, the back side should open, and you should feel a big stretch as if your back's opening up, and it's to get your lungs to open up at the back a bit more. So what I do from here is elbow directly on the shoulder. Again, it can be done from sitting from the desk or standing up, as long as I can get into this position. Elbow on the shoulder, palms straight in line, shoulder length apart from here to here. Some of us may notice that our hands are rotated and close together, and this is kind of an inkling of where we need to work on our shoulder mobility and our external rotation of the shoulder, okay? So here to here, chin's relaxed. I'm going to push my bra strap or my bra strap up to the roof. Create as much of a hump up the back and try to get as round and big and wide as I can. So as the front closes, I want to be in that prone position. You may not feel comfortable there, but I want you to breathe into that space. Okay? So when I'm in this space now, I'm going to push up. I'm going to take big deep breaths in through my nose. And gentle exhales through my mouth. As I'm inhaling, I'm going to imagine trying to get myself bigger and wider. So as you take that big breath in, I want you to feel your back expanding. I want to feel all these sides open up. I want to feel maybe pops and cracks and stretching and maybe wee pockets you've never felt before. Okay, you imagine that's a big balloon and you're trying to fill up full of air. Okay, the breath is important here, so you have to really focus on getting that big inhale, getting that big expansion at the back, and that gentle exhale. Okay, when I breathe into that big position, I don't want to kind of lose it. I want to try and get it more, as if you're trying to blow more air in there. So in that position again, fill up the space at the back, gently exhale. Even more this time. Now from there I'm going to a side lying position. So I lie on one side, my bottom hand comes between my knees, my top hand is going to reach out towards the top. One thing make sure you do here is keep your knees atop each other, that you don't roll away. So keep the knees slightly squeezed together, squeeze that hand, I'm going to reach out on top. Try to keep the neck as relaxed as you can. I'm going to basically sweep palm facing down up over top of my head. When I run out of room is when I rotate. Okay, when I run out of room here, I rotate, and that allows me to reach back as I roll with it, trying to let the knees to roll with me. Keep them over the top. Open up shoulder, chest, upper and mid back, down towards my back side, my hip, back leg came, palms facing up, shoulders dropped out the way. Sweep over the top. When I run out of room, I roll the palm down and back to where I started. 1, 2. 3. 4. And 5. Doesn't matter what range of motion you've got, you may get to here and you may have to hover off because that's just the space we've accessed at the minute. Go through spaces that you can kind of feel tension in, but you can breathe through. So if I'm trying to force it to get to here on the floor and I'm having to hold my breath, it's too much. Scale it back to where you feel as if you can work through and eventually it will start to drop. The goal here is to stay on the floor as much as possible. May or may not be possible, but it's something you want to work on and improve on. When you get to the stage you can stay on the floor and open up, you're going to feel a significant difference in tension between chest, shoulder and upper back and neck. So you can on shape, bottom hand to your knees, hand facing out, and roll with it. It's totally fine to put a cushion or something below your neck here to give you a bit of extra support. Say if you've got a bit of a stiff neck, you can hold something in here so that you're not having to hold tension up like that. Because if you're already tight here and I'm holding myself up like so down the way I'm showing you now, it's going to be quite uncomfortable for us. So we want this to be able to relax and drop off. So should we put a cushion below it? Totally fine. Roll with it. So the biggest thing we're not going to do here is to not let the legs roll with it. So if I get this sort of stage here and I'm noticing that I'm rolling away, that's me cheating. So I make sure that this stays here and it stays as honest as I can up to the upper body. Once both sides are done, we're then going into this 90 position. The whole focus here is what we're focusing on is changing from side to side, so this rotational drill. So if I start in one side, I'm on my right hip facing forward, it's about how I transfer from left to right. Now, you'll see here is a lot of people just kind of go and flop across. It's a very limited drill. I want this to be as much about the rotation as I can get, so I have to exaggerate it. What I do from here is I don't turn the shoulders, the torso, it stays straight up for as long as possible. So my back leg has to do all the lifting to start with. So I'm going to squeeze both glutes, okay? Both glutes are squeezed nice and tight. I'm going to lift off through my back leg, that's extra rotation. I will get to a point that I can't go anymore or I start to cheat with the shoulder, that's where I stop. This is where this next one comes in. So I don't want to just lift off together because that's already easy for me. So I lift off as far as I can get to, finding that second point, and then this starts to lift off. Anytime this moves, this has to get further and further away. So I don't want that gap to close, I don't want us to join it. Anytime this comes off, this has to keep pushing me. So this is always leading the way. I try my best to keep as much weight forward as I can. You lean back as much as you need to, but the better I can stay forward, the better the hips have to work. Both glutes are squeezing tight. You can use your hands to help you as much as you need. Rotate through, you're keeping this space, keeping these angles, and then follow on through. A lot of us will finish here. There's still a lot of rotation to add in until I get into full hip extension. Again, I'm facing directly this way, shoulders are spread up, and it all has to come through the back leg first. So glutes are all nice and tight, I lift off, I find where my second point is, where I start to cheat or where I start to hit the block, and then the next one comes in. Keeping forward with the weight, squeezing the glutes, falling on through. Lift off. Remember, don't just swing, don't just float around. Think about what you're trying to achieve. Slow it down, feel every nook and cranny and sticky bit. The better we do this and the better, the stronger we get this, the more this smooths out, the better your hips are going to feel. The better the hips feel, the better the back will feel, and the better the knees will feel. Once we've done the reps there, we're going to lie on our back. It's kind of like the glute bridge march we've done in the previous video, but on this one we're adding a cross connection. So this is like tying in that if we're doing a bit more advanced training, a bit more walking now, a bit more running, is to get the upper and lower body to tie in together. Again, it kind of cleans up our gait cycle, our gait pattern, and makes us move more efficiently. The key word here is efficiently. So I like it nice and flat, I got into the hip bridge, And rather than me moving leg up and leg down, what I'm going to do is don't move your feet closer together, keep them hip width apart. What everyone goes to do when you go to lift off is to give a little shuffle. Keep this distance to the hips, which is key. I'm going to take my right arm, I'm going to reach it towards my chest. Now for some reason, whenever I do this in person, everyone always goes up here. That's your shoulder, this is your chest. I'm laughing because it always happens and some people do it in the video. So directly over your chest, think about your middle finger is directly over your breastbone. So I'm slightly reaching into the center line of my body as well. So I'm up in this hip position, I take my right arm, reach up nice and high, directly over chest. I'm going to take my left knee and pull up towards this hand. So I'm staying in this hip bridge, we're going opposite points, and we're holding for breaths, 5 breaths, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Foot down, hand down, hips down. Reset the feet, make sure we're hip width apart. Back up into hip bridge. Step 1, left arm comes up and over chest and middle finger over breastbone, so right in the centre of the chest. And then without shuffling together, right knee pulls up. 1 breath, 2 breaths, reach high, pull back, 3 breaths, 4 breaths, 5 breaths, down, down, down. Repeat that one or two times. After that, you're going to stand up on your feet. I'm going into an elephant walk. What we're thinking about doing here is getting a bit of freedom through the glutes, hamstrings and calves. You go into, we'll call it a hamstring stretch, or spinal flexion as best you can. So where you keep your legs stiff at, and you kind of reach down, to the same point you can make your touch toes, ankles. It doesn't really matter where you start at. What I'm really focusing on doing here is taking one knee, slightly bend that, and look another one back. So this one's getting the stretch. And all we do from there is switch. One knee slightly bends, one knee pops back. Switch, 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 switch. Feels easy. A little lower. Switch, 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 switch. Feels easy. And then relax like that. Abs are squeezed tight, chin's tucked down. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make sure you breathe when you're doing those. So how this looks again is the breathing. 5 to 10 breaths. Start with 5 reps. Feels good. Add reps on. See where you hold more tension. If you want more love and tension into one point, you can do a bit more breathing. You can do a bit more work on the upper body if you feel as if you need it. A bit less work on the hips if you don't need it. Probably not, but we can kind of play around with things and tweak it to your kind of standards or what you need at the moment. So we'll go breathing, we'll go 5 breaths. Then we get the sideline sweeps. Roll, roll, roll. Open up, open up, open up. See if we get the other side. Into the 90 transitions. Lifting off, slowly rotate across. Remember, it's about control. Glutes are squeezed nice and tight. We lift off, rotate. Side to side, side to side. We then lie on our back. Feet hip width apart, toes pointing straight, hands on the floor. We got into our bridge. Right arm sitting in the chest. Opposite knee. Controlled breaths. Hand the foot down, hip down, opposite side. Down, 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 and then up on the feet. Chin, tummy, flex, knee up forward, knee back. Shake it out and good to go. Try that before you go out and do your next gym session, or you do your run, your big long walk, just to get everything kind of connect, get them to tie together and get all body parts kind of moving in a big sequence of pattern and see how you go.